Okay, like so. Now the puño can be used for, if I may, Mark, it can be used for butting, it can be used for raking this way or raking this way. It can be used for locking around the neck that way. It can be used for locking around the neck this way. And it also can be used for locking on the joint areas, such as this. Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, Ed Frankel here now will be doing several different types of footwork. One of them will be the forward replace. Okay, and it'll look like this. Okay, what he's doing is doing 5 strikes, and what he's doing is shifting both feet up in the frontal position. Okay, now this is like, it's like he's retreating, but in essence it's not. He's just repositioning his body. Good, Ed. Okay, the other one is the backward replace. It is just the exact opposite of what Ed was doing. As you can see now, the body shifts to the rear of each movement, while he's still doing syncopado or 5 strikes. Okay, again, he is not retreating, but repositioning the body. Thank you, Ed. Okay, Ed will now be going into what we call a cross-stepping. Okay, he still will be striking 5 strikes or syncopado. Now, in this movement, as you can see, he's utilizing a slight twist. This is predominantly from the southern area of the Philippines and practiced quite extensively with the collie systems. Thank you, Ed. Mark's now going to show us the 12 striking angles. These angles, as demonstrated by Mark, will be from 1 to 12 and covering from the head area to the leg area. Mark? Okay, from the one position, strike to the head, strike to the head on the left side, to the rib area, to the rib area on the other side, thrust to the abdomen, thrust to the left eye or throat, an overhead, a thrust coming straight up like an uppercut, okay. A strike down to the knee or to the ankle, another strike to the knee there, and 11, which is down to the ankle, and 12 coming across the throat. These striking angles also cover the opponent when he's facing back to you. So once again, strike to the head there, and to the head there, and still from the back to the back of the ribs there, also there, thrusting to the spinal area. Okay. And as he continues, this, supposedly when the opponent turns on you, you just hit whatever he offers you. In the collie terms, you take whatever they offer. Down to the ankle and to the back of the neck. Okay, thank you, Mark. From the stationary frontal and rear positions of striking, we are going into what we call a numerado on the collie system. And in this case here, we're just going to be doing continuous striking. And what this does for the individual is have them pick a target, be able to move, and to be able to control the bastone or the stick so it doesn't strike, but yet acquire finesse as well as cultivation. I will demonstrate as such. Now, as I'm moving, I will just at random pick a target and just sight in and try to control it as close as I can without any physical damage at all. This can be done by both individuals. Okay, from those striking angles, you can go into what we call the infinity pattern. And basically all it means is that you can strike from any angle and be in continuous flow. So like we have the diagonals, okay, diagonal opposite way, your horizontal line, okay, your circles, your redondos, your ticks. Now, you also have your continuous motions like the figure eighting. Now here, we can switch just by going into a circle and coming up the other way, figure eighting this way. They even have a movement, they do this vertically, or you can do this kind of shot vertically. So as you can see, the different combinations can be derived from what we call, again, the infinity pattern. There is no beginning or ending. It's just a flowing, continuous flow of striking until the job is done. Another set of exercises we use for striking is using the alphabets of the numbers, as illustrated. Alphabet A, B, C, D. Now for the numbers, we have number 1, 2, 3, 4. There again, you can get creative as you'd like, but in whichever case, the cultivation will set in and the innovation will flow. Now what we're going to do is what we call accuracy drills. Ed will place the staff in a position here, okay, and what we try to do is hit the tips of the staff here. This is develop accuracy. Now we don't want to go super fast or super hard, just so it's steady and as accurate as you can get almost every time. Okay? In this position now I'm doing a figure 8 down. Okay, now it will place it into a second position, which should be the frontal position, and I will hit it from the front like this. Or try to. Okay, the next position will be, again to the tip, albanico, which is also known as fanning, okay, which will do this. Okay, I don't want to hit all over here, I want to hit at the tip, and therefore hopefully increase my marksmanship through practice. The next position will be the vertical albanico, okay, like so. Okay, by doing that, you will develop accuracy as you go along, and like everything else, through constant practice, you will hit almost every time as you go down the road. What we're going to do now is utilize some of the blocking effects. Okay, now in the Philippines, before the different names for different blocks came out, it was based on payong, or what in the English version is umbrella. In terms of the umbrella covers the frontal and the backward area and the side areas here. Okay, but today we have certain names for the different sectors. Okay, so like on this position, the umbrella in the side position covers this number 1 blow. From the up position, overhead, from this position to the side. Now in this position I have my palm facing out. Now leaving it right there, the other version is with the palm in. So here again overhead, and here again to the side. Okay, so there again you can see the covering effect of the umbrella, and also from the frontal position, here overhead, and in the back overhead. Now what I'm going to have Mark do is demonstrate 5 of the standard techniques that we use for development, and it'll be just 5 strikes and 5 counters with the different blocks. Okay, Mark, if you would. Okay, so I'm going to feed number 1, and his first counter is what we call the inside sweep, and then it finishes up. Okay. Number 2 will be an outside sweep and a finish. There again using the umbrella system. Okay. Number 3 will be the low wing. Number 4, he'll use a frontal block or counter, which is the drop stick. Number 5, we'll use a vertical guide. Okay. There again, the system or the structure of the umbrella is being utilized no matter what angle it's coming in. Okay. Thank you, Mark. What you have here is Mark dressed up for protection, and the hand here. Because in here we're going to go through some of the hitting, and you'll get a better idea of what the impact is like or could sound like. Okay, but now when we get into the techniques and stuff, now earlier we did more of a passive, we did the blocking first, and then the counters, and so Mark did a while ago. Okay, but now we will go into more of a direct approach. So in a case of direct hitting to the minor, which is through the hands or through the arm, and in the major, they will do the hands first. So Mark is going to demonstrate by feeding number 1 first, and most of the time the direct shot to the hand is a little bit more quicker. It is closest to you, and it is also very effective in disarming. All from a number 2 angle. Okay, it strikes from here. That is much quicker than blocking and going in. Or a low line, let's say a number 3 angle. All right, so here again. Okay, there without going through the complexities, you make a direct approach to the target. Okay, now he will feed the number 1 angle. We'll go to number 1 through 5 and demonstrate where, if we're at the closer range, we will have to block somewhat, but we also go direct more to the major targets. In this case, primarily we'll use the head for effect. Okay? So number one will look like this. Instead of blocking and hitting, when we block hit, so. Okay, number 2, done the same way. Instead of just blocking, we make a direct hit while blocking. In this case again, from a 2 angle. Okay. Number 3, the low wing we did a while ago was also more of a pass when we blocked the last time. Now from that same motion, we're going to take it straight up to the target. In this case again, number 3. There became an upward movement. Okay. Number 4, off the drop stick, you saw earlier more passive. This one will be a little bit more direct, but we'll be using a bouncing effect, such as like that. Okay, there we use the ground as a form of energy. Number 5, again, will be direct here. Now, there again, depending on the situation, sometimes you have to block, other times you have to block and hit, other times, as earlier demonstrated, we were more of an outside range. Okay, so you have your different measures depending on your opponent. Okay, Mark? So here are some of the flow drills, and we'll take it step by step. One of them is what we call a lock and block from the Numerada system, and what is going to be an alternate feed between the Bastone or the knife. Okay, now Ed and I will demonstrate. He will feed by the numbers and then feed a dagger. We'll do this at a slow pace so you can see where again we work through a cultivation of developing your target. In this case here, I continuously hit the weapon. He gets a signal, and then I hit the next move. And here right now he's feeding through the angles. That was number 3 angle. Feeding the dagger. And now number 4 and the dagger. And then number 5. And then the dagger also. Later, thank you, Ed. Later he will break the rhythm, but in this case we want to keep it simple so you can have an idea of what it looks like. What we're going to do now is have several different exercises, and one of them, the first one will be what we call a 3-way exercise drill. It will be a flow, what we call a prelude to the Sombra. It will flow 3-way, and then one person will finish up with a technique. I'm going to have Mark and Ed come up and demonstrate. If you guys would, please. As we get into position here, it is going to number 1, and it's going to feed. Mark responds back with a technique. Also from the number 2 angle. There's a constant flow of exercises here, and by going through syncopated with 5 strikes, okay, we have a 3rd stage flow, and there again, Mark finishing up with Abanico. Now from the number 4 angle, cover for the low wing, come up, and finish. Good. And from the 5 angle. Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. Okay, what we're going to have now is what we call a sombrada in the box pattern. Box pattern meaning it's a certain sequence of strikes and blocks that is adhered to develop flow, continuity, as well as accuracy and control, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, in this example, they'll go with box pattern. Then after that, they'll go into what we call a freelance. That means striking at any particular angle and responding and giving one back. It's a counter for counter drill. Okay, now they're going to start up with the box pattern first, and then they'll go straight into the freelance. Okay, if you guys would demonstrate. So in this case, it starts off with the number 1, follow inside sweep, and as you can see, they will do the same blocks and strikes over and over. Okay. This is the introduction to the sombrada. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good, guys. Okay. Now from there, they'll go into what they call a freelance, and now they will strike from any angle and return from any angle. Okay. Let's demonstrate again. Now they go from the high lines to the low lines, going from any angle, sometimes passing, sometimes blocking. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Okay, progressing from there with the sombrada, now we will execute all the 3 stages that we're talking about, from direct hitting, from blocking to direct hitting. So if Mark would extend his arm, please. So as from the sombrada now, we will be executing a block or strike to the stick, to the hand or to the arm, or to the major targets, which is the body area here. Okay, now we'll do just a short sequence of that. Okay, Mark? All right, so we start off first on the sticks, blocking on the sticks here. Then, as we progress along, we take the strike on the arm now. Now this you want to do carefully, because you're going to direct hitting to the hand or to the stick. Then from there, as we move along the way, we strike to the body. Well, as we did a while ago with the helmet on. As you can see, none of us are getting hurt. And yet, you can exercise all the different stages. Now, when we freelance, we just hit at whatever is available at the time. Thank you, Mark. What we're going to do now is some disarms, if you may. I think the best disarm is to hit, but it's good to have it as knowledge for support system. And what we'll do is just several numbers for you. Number 1 will be off an overhead strike, and it'll be an attack to the head followed by a takedown. Okay, Ed? Okay. So number 1 again, we'll go in slow motion. We'll take it, hit, heel, 2 hits, takedown, and a finish. Okay. Number 2 angle will be a catch to the head as you open it in, disarm, and sinawali to the top target. Number 3 will be what we call the pinching, or sometimes known as the Picotti method. First, you'll feed and I'll catch it with a low wing, and such, pin here. Now in here, I'm pinching the thumb. As you can see there, and if I were to twist it, or pinch it hard, it'll either hurt bad or maybe dislocate. In this case, from here, we can go straight into, I'm going to release it slightly, double hitting to the head, neck disarm, sweep down. Okay, good. 4. Okay, number 4, we'll do what I call the most practical in terms of disarm. So number 4, catch, out, and finish to the head. Okay, thank you, Ed. All right, what we're going to do now is going to the knife sombrada. But before we do that, with the knife sombrada, like with the bastones, but only now, obviously, your motions are much shorter. And also, by having your knife and supposedly having your edges, you have to watch out about not cutting your second hand here. Okay, while working with the knife, they have the single checking system, if you would extend an arm, would you? Okay, single checking system where after you make a hit or a cut, then you have your checking system, which you've seen all this time here. Okay, so we'll sombrada slow. Okay? Boom. As you can see, he's doing one single check, and so am I. Okay. Now what we are doing here is we're cutting to the arm. Okay? We're cutting to the arm. Okay. Now, from the single checking system with one hand, there's also what's called a double checking system. And in this case here, after your first parry and then you check here, they have a second checking system where you use the arm a lot. In this case here. Okay, so once again, there'll be a parry, a check, and then a double check. And in this case, actually, there was 3. Now, coming, let's say, from the fore angle, okay, you have your cutting, your checking, and again here, checking with the elbow. And then repeat. Okay, now from the 3 angle, with the double checking, sometimes after your first parry or check, the checking can be done with the right elbow. From here, up, boom. Once again, the first check here, check with the elbow, and check again. Now you want to be sure that your blade is always close in front here and you don't make wide cuts like this, because then you'll start to take more time to bring it up front. Sometimes the parry can be done on the arm, say for number 5, here. Sometimes the parry can be done blade to blade, same angle, just like with the stick. Okay, now what we're going to do is go through the sombrada, and we'll go from checking to the hand, checking on the blade, or checking on the major target itself, which means cutting to the body. Okay, we'll do this nice and slow. Okay, so we'll start off. And we'll go easy. Now here I use the fist to block. Then I'll return. Okay, you'll see that line. I'll check. And from here, we're just going to flow now. Okay. And as you can see now, we can cut straight to the body, straight to the face. Okay, to the hand, to the blade. Okay, to the face. Good, good. And we're still using all the areas of cover. Okay. Now those elbows can be hitting as well as blocking. Okay. Thank you, Ed. Now back to disarm. We show disarming with a knife against empty hand. Again, the best disarm is to turn and run or pick up something bigger than his, okay? But in the event that you need to, it's good to have some as a support system again. Now, what we're going to do is work off a number 5 attack. But before we do, we have several different ways of feeding and blocking. The knife can be fed in what we call a suck-suck position, as Ed is demonstrating here. And it also can be fed in a pakal position. That means it's point down. Now the blade can be towards me as it is now, or it can be towards it. Okay, now some of the basic blocking positions coming from the what we call the windmill. We either go down this way, okay, and if it's coming up, sometimes we go up this way. Sometimes we go to the side of the hand here. Sometimes it can be the side of the hand on the inside. Now we also do the windmill from the inside. There's this fashion here. Okay? Now what we're going to do is show you a few of few of the disarms, and the first angle we're going to take is the number 5 angle. Now, when it feeds the 5 to the stomach, okay, the windmill element is used again, just in this fashion here. Now we grab the wrist, pull, then come across the throat, snake in, and then up to the target. Okay? So once again, Ed, you'll feed 5. Okay? You windmill down, pull, cut, and to the target. Okay? Okay, number 2 will be from the pakal position. As you see Ed holding the knife now. And it'll come from this angle here. And when the strike comes, again, the windmill element, which is this, coming over, grabbing the arm here, lifting this up, and disarming with your forearm. Here, then you throw. All right, number 4 angle, which is coming across the waist area, okay, will be done in this fashion. Ed will feed the 4, the windmill out here. Grab the wrist, turn, push. As you push and disarm, you're doing the punching here. Okay. Then you can go into takedown. Okay. Now we'll do that in slow-mo again. All right, Ed, if you would. Number 4, windmill down again from here. Catch the wrist. Set up for the disarm as you face the opponent, and you turn the wrist and push punch here. Okay. Then you go into your 4-corner lock, face takedown here. Number 1 angle. All right, this time we're going to do a little bit different. We're almost going to meet it together coming down. Okay, in this fashion. Here. Pull or twist. Pull the blade, then around the neck. Here. Okay. Once again. Okay. And this one here, it's received together as you angle to the side. Here. The outside hand catching here, guiding to the side, twisting over, pulling the knife out, and then back of the head or the neck, and then from then it's your choice to whatever finishing counter you decide. Okay? Thank you, Ed. Okay. We're going to have here what we call a single wall or a double stick, and we're going to take a few basic drills to kind of give you an idea what it looks like. Now, although you hear the banging, there are actually attacks to different sectors of the target or the body. In this case, they'll do what we call cob or pie, where they'll do this kind of motion here, like hitting each side of the body, or they'll strike up high, which means striking up to the higher part of the body, namely the head area. Then they'll go down low, which is going from a head attack to a leg attack. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll do each one first, and then they'll mix it up. Okay, so first they'll start off with the cob. Okay, they begin. Okay. And what that is they're hitting at a high, center, and low level. Okay, again, it's in a high level, center level, and then to the low level. Okay, time. Okay, what they're going to go into now is what they call a 1-2 attack or a 1-2 drill. 1-2 from the left and 1-2 from the right. As you can see, they're hitting and exercising footwork at the same time, twisting and turning. Very simple. Okay, thank you guys. All right, from there, they'll go into the 1-10 or high-low attack. Okay. Again, striking to the head and leg. Head, leg. Head, leg. Head, leg. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, what they're going to do now is put this all together. Okay, from the cob to the 1-2 and 1-10. Okay. Just finish the sequence and back to the cob again. 1-2, 1-10. Once again, okay. Cob, center, low, 1-2, 1-10. Okay, guys. Okay, so now the other drills are what we call a 6 count. They'll do it from the heaven 6, standard, and earth 6. Okay, they go from the high level, center, and low. Okay, guys. can see they have a nice continuous flow. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Okay, while utilizing the 6 count as a base, we have several different prefixes or probing methods or elements put in. Okay, in this case, we'll be doing, or they'll be doing the probing high-low. They'll be doing the abanico, the bacalao, and the sunkiti. Okay, we'll explain it as we go along. And for now, they'll do the high-low element. Okay, if you guys would. Okay, good. Okay, this time what we're going to see is the abanico probe and then the 6 count. Okay, guys? Okay, good. Okay, for the next one, still using the 6 count as a base, you'll go into the abanico probe. Okay? Okay, great. All right, for the other one, we call this the bacalao. They're turning over the head. Okay. Okay, fine. All right, the next one will be the sunkiti, or the thrusting. In this case, we're going to have one person feeding the thrusting and the other guy doing the standard 6. Okay? Okay, very good. So far, we've done most of the drills in a stationary position. Now, obviously, we don't have to stay locked in. What we try to do also is develop footwork. You can go back and forth, side to side, in a triangular pattern, or you can go in a circling motion. Okay, for the first one, we're going to show you how to use the 6 count and develop that movement while still exercising the drill. Okay, guys? Okay, time. As I mentioned before, they can also go backward and forward. Okay, in this case, they'll go 3 steps to and fro. Okay. Now what they'll do is go into what we call the V pattern or the female triangle, which is diagonally from side to side. Okay? Okay, time. All right, now for the tabi-tabi, or the sideward or lateral movement. Okay? Okay, guys? Okay, time. Good. Now for the tabi-tabi or the lateral or sideward movement. Okay, guys? Okay, time. All right, this next exercise will take you from the high line to the knee. He'll go down on his knees and then he'll go down to the floor. Okay, guys? Okay, time. This next exercise will take us from the high line. You'll drop down to the knee, then to the floor, and then back up again. Okay, guys? Okay, time. What we're going to do now is the Sombrada with the double sticks or the sinawali. What we'll be doing is same as we did with the empty hand, with the stick and empty hand, or we'll be doing with the stick and the knife, is the parry, check, and the strike itself. Illustrated here, if Ed would extend the number 1, we could go to the stick itself and then the strike or the feedback here. Okay? Or we can go to the hand itself. See that second strike here, boom. Okay. In reality, we could also go to the major target to do the flow. Okay, so we can go on the stick, on the hand. Now we can go, as I said, to the stick, but in this case here, we go straight to the hand here. Okay, you can see that again, to the hand. You can also go to the major here. Okay, so in reality, you can go back out again. So it's the same thing we did with the solo Bastone empty hand, or we can go with a knife. Okay, in this exercise, during the Sombrada, we will stick with just hitting the Bastones for now. Okay, so we'll go Sombrada. Okay, then we'll do this nice and easy so you can see the relationship. Okay, okay. All right, what we're going to do now is what we call a Numerada, and it's a flowing, feeding, and countering flowing exercise, and it's very similar to the lock and block which we did earlier. In this case here, we'll be doing a little more footwork. Now, it would extend his arm for number 1 attack. We'll be doing, again, the principles of hitting the stick, checking, hitting the hand on the check, or going into the main target area or the major. Okay, so we'll do a flow, and we'll keep it at a pace to where we can see what is happening. Okay, Ed? Okay. So, as you can see, we are just picking a target at random, and Ed is just going to feed constantly, and I will just move and find a target. And as you can see, the knife hand is still being used extensively. And boom. Okay. Thank you, Ed. Now what we're going to do is, although you see the sticks here, we're going to do the Mano Mano with the empty hand. But before that, we want to still keep in mind and observe what is happening, which is we still have the attack, and the counters coming from the Bastone will go stick, which is a parry, check, and then a hit. In the terms of the blade, it's the same thing. Check, check, or cut and check, and then thrust or the cut in. Okay, now using these principles will still be applicable with the empty hand. So now it's marked here. Okay, so for the sake of the training, for the illustration I should say, we're going to say hand in hand with the stick angles. So we'll feed in number 1 as it goes here. Here we have still the parry, check, followed by a hit, or several hits. And now, coming from the number 2 angle, marked feeds, the checking element here, okay, then the hitting can be done here, or to the hand, or to the arm, followed with whatever, okay. Now, with the number 3, okay, we use the wing element here, again for training, okay. This is done like the Bastone, where the shield is down here, and the second hand is checked here, okay. And then follow up can be either over the top or it can be underneath, okay. But right now we're just going to the parry check element, okay. And number 4, you'll feed the 4 coming across from here, and in this diversion we have the parry check like the drop stick put together here, okay. Then the hit can be done with this hand here or this hand here first. Okay, number 5, obviously, again, we can go into passing, as we did with the knife a while ago, right? The parry checking element, or the parry checking element can come up here, okay, for the passing over the top. But in any event, parry checking, the footwork of the angulation still depicts the whole structure. What we're going to do is try to show you some of the movements of the same angles, 1 to 5, and maybe give you several variations. Okay, now understand we're still using the feet in relationship to the Bastone or the knife. Okay, so we'll be using the striking angles as such. Okay, so Mark will feed me number 1, and so maybe your first classical is here and hit. Here's a double snap here. This motion here, and then we're going to arm lock. Okay. Oh. Okay. Another version would be from number 1 again. Would be inside, pass over into a choke. Okay. Another version, more simply, off the 1 is like we talked about earlier, when the 1 comes in, feeding into directly into the target, as I did earlier, straight in, and then in, and then take down. Okay, that's for the number 1 angle. All right, for the number 2 angle, again with the training feed, we get several different variations from there. Okay, like with the Bastone, we have what we call the shield, or the outside shield. Okay, in this case here, when it feeds me number 2, we could go inside here, or we could hit here, or we could just come out and elbow and then down. Okay. Okay, so again, the shield is coming up, and the arm comes up into the shield, but in this case, it comes up, an elbow, and then you go into the finish. Okay. Another version, which is a little more direct, is here. Okay, which is right here. This hand is right into the movement here. Okay. Then we're off into another takedown again. Another version of the outside or number 2 angle, another version of the direct hit, went inside on the first time. Okay. Now, we'll shoot to the outside. Knife hand to the head, jut, head grab, spin, take down. Okay. Okay, so once again, that motion is just slide here, knife hand, jut, here, come back, head grab, spin all the way around into the takedown. Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, and that's it for number 2. All right, for the number 3 angle, okay, coming from the outside, we'll still do a low wing like we do with the Bastone. Okay, in this case, when the mark feeds 3 here, you hit it here, pull over into a choke. Okay, once again, we'll do it in slow motion now. Did 3 here. This is hitting here. Then you grab under the arm, pull over, set up for the neck choke, lock in, tight, and down. Okay? Another version of the 3 from the low wing would be from the inside as such. Here, boom, over the top. Okay? Over the top here, then from here it will turn into a side crank, side neck crank. Okay, now once again, in slow-mo, here, over the top, 1, 2, 3. Turn, neck crank, like so. Okay? All right, the number 4 line coming from the opposite side to the waist area. Now, if we recall the last time with the Bastones and the knife, when you fed the 4, we tap first on here, okay, which is actually a little more passive. All right, now what are we actually going to do with this one here is shoot right in here. So it slides off here into this motion here, okay? Then you hit, come into the wrench here. Ooh. Okay? All right. Once again, that'll be the 4 coming in. Instead of tapping down, once again, you just shoot and you slide through here. Hit through the chest, back a number of times into an elbow wrench or twist. Okay? Now, the other version would be when it feeds 4 again. Instead of this hand going forward, we just change the countering hand. This hand goes in, right there. Okay? Same thing following again. Elbow, wrist lock, hip check. Okay? Once again, the punch coming in here, coming in here. Okay? Elbow, shoulder wrist, and wrist lock, neck control. All right, for number 5, which will be to the abdomen, this one will be taken a little bit more direct. So when Mark feeds the line, when he feeds it directly, we're going to hit 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then from here, he will shoot the second hand, which will come up and block here. Okay. Then you go into wrist lock, knee, then either take down or elbow in. Okay. Now we'll try that. We'll try that once again. Okay. So once again, we'll take another look. Take it, boom. Now in this case, as I'm hitting through the arm, I'm hitting the face here as well. Then into the wrist lock, boom. I can take down, or I can elbow in again. Okay. All right. Now the flow exercise can still be utilized here, mano mano. Okay. In this case, which we'll do the Sombra, which you've seen throughout the tape here, we will take it in its stages, and then we'll go into a technique. Okay. We'll demonstrate. Okay. Now we'll do this very, very slowly, and you can pick up as a training drill. It has its motion. Now here we're doing hitting, double checking, or single checking, or in whichever case, and repeat again. Okay, bang. And right now we're still using one hand to do the technique. Now we can throw doubles in. Okay, bang, here. Now from this flow we can go into where one guy just finished into a technique. Okay, so when we continue the flow, bang, okay, flow, in, bang, okay, then we continue again, flow, see, even there, see, although, so as you can see, we can utilize all the flow drills from the long weapons to the short to the empty hand, and utilize principles of hitting minors to majors, utilizing footwork, and still developing on the way in terms of accuracy, target, focus, and such and such. Okay, thank you, Mark. All right, what you've seen today for Lucayluc4y or Escrima is an overview of what it has to offer. Many things are available from it. You can see the different ranges, the different types of footwork, the different weapons involved, from knives to sticks to, we didn't use much of staff today, but the empty hand, and it is truly a complete art. And what I'd like to give thanks to is my 2 assistants, Ed Franco. Thank you, Ed. Okay, Mark Stewart here. They're both associate instructors, and I think they handle themselves pretty well. I hope you enjoy the tape, and I hope we can see you again in the future.